my exclusive interview with DJ Pistolero. Here you see his equipment. This is where it all takes place. What was one of the best Christmas gifts you ever received from your parents at the age of 16?
Oh, it's a good one. At the age of 14, I got my first pair of turntables. And, they were like, just like the regular starting kit for like a DJ just to start. And then when I was 16, I got like my first pair of 1200 Technique turntables. It was like actually a 18-year-old kid getting a Mercedes Benz, so it kind of like put a super big smile on my face. I was like so overwhelmed and blushed out, and yeah, that's like the gift of all times, because that gift right there made me who I am today,
Definitely.
So I took it to my own, how do you say, I took it upon myself to basically stay home, leave the hanging out, and just practice, get my skills up all around, mic, mixing, everything, just to do what I gotta do where I am today, you know what I'm saying? So.
Definitely. And you've been successful.
Thank you.
You started building a name for yourself at a very young age. At 10 years old, you were already editing your own mixtapes. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, when I was like 14, I didn't only just get my turntable, I got a 90-watt radio, which everybody knows at the time was like really big in the 90s and the 80s, of course. And the 90-watt radio that they got me had like all these gadgets and all these buttons. You would have thought I was like an airplane pilot or something. Yeah, well, it had a lot of these buttons that I needed to like edit my own mixtapes and just to get myself started. So what I did, I used to just like listen to KTU, and I used to pause every time the commercial would come on, and I would edit and come back on, and I would go around selling those tapes, to like friends, or just give them out as a gift. Yeah. And people liked the idea. And I said, you know what, I gotta take this to the next level. That's why I stepped in with a mixer and 2 turntables.
Born and raised in South Williamsburg, Brooklyn, in New York City, to Puerto Rican parents Pedro Troche Sr. and Ana Galarza, the youngest sibling out of 3. Pedro Troche Jr., known to many as PD or DJ Pistolero, Stolero Beats, was introduced to music at the age of 4 when he started singing with his dad, who was a guitarist, and his legendary uncle, Jose Feliciano. Yes, the Feliz Navidad Jose Feliciano. So as we can see, the passion for music runs in the blood.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and all my viewers all across the world, this is the official DJ Pistolero headquarters. This is where I make all the magic, right here, in my own room. This is where I seclude myself from the world, and I barricade myself from the whole world, and I just get into my state of mind, and I get into this right here, which is my love and my passion, my 2 turntable, my twin kids right here, okay?
Tell me about the 7 remix records you produced, which sold out in every record store nationwide.
Oh yeah, well, the first record I ever produced actually took me 18 hours in the studio. Yeah, and the Chinese bill, I'll never forget, it was like $300 for the Chinese bill. But yeah, it was a big record. I was there a long time. Basically, I introduced New York City with a reggae acapella with hip-hop beats. I was like the first dude to ever do that in New York City. A lot of people don't know this, but I introduced that to New York City. And reason why is because I noticed that reggae was real big in the clubs, and you couldn't mix at that time. You couldn't throw a hip-hop record, even though if it was a banging record, you couldn't throw it in between an ill reggae set. It would just like stop the mood and everything. So I said, you know what? Let me incorporate a hip-hop beat with a reggae lyric. And you know what? It jumped off. It sold 17,000 units. I never thought this was gonna happen. And yeah, we started up pressing up 300 copies, and it went from 300 copies to 1,400 copies, and the record got reprinted. So yeah, it was a big record. That was my first record.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did it at P. Diddy Studios too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did it at P. Diddy Studios, and it was a big experience for me.
Obviously here in New York City.
Yeah, it was 44th Street. So.
Which artists were featured in that?
Wow, there was a lot of artists. It was I had Cuddy Ranks on there. I had everybody in there. I even had Foxy Brown Beats in there. I had Method Man in there. I had Nas in there. MC Shan, like Karis One. I had all the ill artists at the time who were really repping the clubs and doing it hard. Shop Ranks, of course. You know, Cuddy Ranks. You know, so these are like the big names, and of course, you know, like Sean Paul.
Yeah.
These are like the people I wanted to incorporate in that record, and you know what? Yeah. So I did it. It became a big record. I tried it. I said, you know what? Somebody's paying for the bill for this, so you know what? Let me at least put something out right. And you know what? It turned out to be good because it made me do record part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, where I had a following in stores and people were really looking forward to a DJ Pistol Pete record. At that time, that's what I was going by, DJ Pistol Pete. So yeah, people were really looking forward. They would go to Rock and Soul, B Street, all these record stores you could think of, just going to get that record. And Funkmaster Flex dropped about 7 bombs on my record, which is crazy for a remix record, you know, at that time. Yeah, he kind of stopped the record and he said, this is right up my alley, and threw it again and stopped it and threw it again, threw like 5 more bombs, caused the whole holocaust. But yeah, it's a good record. I first started DJing in house parties. You know, I wanted to, you know if I could really do this. And I always had a stage fright since I was a kid. You know, I always had stage fright.
Which nightclub was the first one to be blessed with your grand appearance?
Wow, my grand appearance, I must have to say, was Club Vertigo on 20th Street. It was called 20 West at the time. Yeah, Club Vertigo was like my biggest debut. When I came out there, I only started by doing a little reggae room in the bottom of the club. Little reggae room. And my job was to play reggae from 10 p.m. to 4 in the morning. Straight reggae. I mean, non-stop reggae. I had the walls and the pipes sweating. When I say sweating, like literally sweating. You would rub your hand on the walls and it'd be wet from so much people dancing out there. So what happened was, I had it rocking for like a good 10 months straight, consistent. People looking forward to go to that little reggae room downstairs. And the owner just gave me one day, the main DJ didn't show up. And he gave me a shot. He asked me if I could handle this. And I was like, I got this.
Of course.
This is what I've been waiting for. Like, this is it right here. So yeah, they gave me a shot. Saturday night, Club Vertigo, main dance floor. I went in. I just like totally went in. And ever since that day, I never went back to the little room downstairs. And I kind of missed it because, you know, it started me off.
Yeah.
But now that I was upstairs and I had, as opposed to 300 people dancing with me in a sweat box, now I got 900 people in a main dance floor. So it was like a great feeling, you know, it's like the feeling of all times. And that was like my big debut right there.
Was it like that room downstairs from Webster Hall? You know, the basement, they got that room?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Yeah, it definitely could. It rings bells to that Webster Hall room. I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's if you've been to that Webster Hall room, you've seen the walls sweating. Well, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to be a part of that team who were really big promoters at that time, and doing Club Vertigo was like the biggest club. It was down the block from the Limelight.
Okay. Oh,
so, yeah, you know, the traffic was real heavy. We had 3 o'clock in the morning, a crowd of like another 300-400 people coming in. So, yeah, it was a good club, and I made my name from there.
You form your own DJ crew, RBI Record Blasting Incorporated. Which other DJs and talent are involved in this project?
RBIDJ'S. Let me begin by saying it was founded in 1986. I used to go by the name of the record blast and DJ Pistol Pete. And that's how it all became RBI. I said to myself, I'm not just gonna be the record blast, and I always wanted to form an alliance of DJs in New York City. And I always said to myself, you know, much respect to the heavy hitters and pit bulls and, you know, executioners and 1200 assassins and all of these other crews, that I said to myself, I've been in the game so long, I might as well just come at it with my own alliance and tell people, like, it's not just me. I got a gang of people. And a lot of the DJs that are involved with RBI, now that you mentioned, first and foremost, I would like to mention DJ Frankie Fresh, who's always been an originator. He's a Brooklyn DJ. Kid has awesome skills. He's out there still doing his thing. He's doing private parties and all that. Second foremost, I like to say DJ Tech 9 has been part of RBI since day one, you know. Followed by, I got DJ MVP, I got DJ Gasolina, I got DJ Escape, I got DJ Atrevido, and the list goes on, you know. I got DJs in Miami, DJs in Orlando. I got DJ Goya, who's representing in Florida, so you know who that is, probably family. And yeah, so, you know, the list gets on and on, you know. If I didn't mention anybody, you know, I apologize for that. But yeah, that's my crew right now, RBI.
Last time I seen you, we were in Bernardino's video shoot, and you mentioned to me that you were working with an artist.
Yeah,
You
actually,
had a specific artist that you were like, Teresa, I have this artist I'm working with. Tell me about that.
Oh, at that time, the artist you're talking about is Prime Status.
Okay.
Prime Status is from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
He moved there since the age of 4. Okay. He's Puerto Rican. He's from Mayagüez, Puerto Rico.
Nice.
And the way I met him was very weird. I went to California for a DJ seminar.
Okay.
And I'm like in the street and I'm hearing this kid rapping. I'm like, the kid is not just rapping, like he's like killing it and killing it. I'm like, who is this kid? So I step up to him, long story short. I introduced myself just as a DJ. He never knew I was a producer.
Okay.
So a year later down the line, I still in connection with this kid. You know, he likes my DJ skills. So, you know, so he wanted me to be a part of Bump Squad DJs. So I became a part of Bump Squad DJs, and then as the years went by, actually a year after, I finally opened up to him and I told him, well, I produce. And I remember a year ago you were spitting some fire in Cali, and it's the whole reason why I kept a good relationship with you, you know. So we started doing music from Texas to New York, you know, because it was pretty expensive for me to go to, you know, Texas, or for him to come here. So I just started pitching him beats, and we made marriage. Like, my beats with his lyrics just made marriage. And fortunately, he did a HBO interview.
Okay.
And it's a whole documentary on the life of the Mexicans in Texas. And my song is the theme song.
Nice.
So it's actually, you know, it's a good thing. We've come a long way. He's done MTV3.
Okay.
He's done so much other stuff, you know. He's so multi-talented. You know, he raps, he sings. And coming from a soul like his, like he's so Puerto Rican, but with a Texas swagger. It's crazy. People ain't ready for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we come out, we're gonna come out like an epidemic. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Usually the Puerto Rican rappers are from La Isla, of course, or from here in New York City.
But could you imagine this is a Texas swagger with a Puerto Rican soul? So yeah, it's
that
hot.
should be good.
We're bringing something new to the table.
Nice.
As I continue on, I've dealt with so many other artists, you know. Let me continue by saying I've dealt with Berg Brigante. A lot of people know Berg Brigante.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's come a long way. I've produced a lot of music for him. I produced a lot of music for my good friend Bernardino, which is the hardest Spanish artist I could ever think of.
Yeah, he's good.
His style is so amazing.
I actually met him in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he's such a, I mean, he's an exciting artist. He's not a boring guy at all.
Not at all.
He sparks up his show. He's on fire. And he's got so much energy in him. You know, it's one of my favorite artists, you know, Bernardino. And I miss him. We're going to be working real soon, shortly. We got a big album coming out. So yeah, be on the lookout for Bernardino. He's going to be a problem. I'm also trying to deal with Dynasty, the Prince of Dancehall.
He's from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn as well. Unfortunately, a lot of the artists that I've been dealing with are just like from Brooklyn. But yeah, you know, being that I'm from Brooklyn myself, born and raised in Williamsburg, South Side. So, you know, I happen to know all these people and they know me from DJing. And a lot of people didn't know that I produced. Being the fact that I'm a jibarito, and you know, yeah, that's just in my nature. You know, my father played guitar, God rest his soul. So since I was a kid, you know, I've been raising up, knocking on people's doors, singing. At the age of 4, I was singing. So I used to go to people's doors, they playing the guitars, and I'm the little guy singing. So like, I have all of this in me with the jibarito music. As far as like parandeando and all that original music that comes from Puerto Rico. Now recently, I'm gonna have my own house album coming out soon. I'm producing my own house album, which I'm almost done with it. I got about 8 songs done already. A lot of my records are I must say, they're making a buzz in the clubs. A lot of DJs that like know me and don't know me are requesting the records. One of my big records right now is I have Celia Cruz. I did a remix to one of her songs.
Yeah, I gotta hear that.
Yeah, and it's called Bemba Colora. It's a tribal house record that'll just spark the club up.
Nice.
It's slamming. It kind of brings you like back in the days of like Que Bonita Bandera and that kind of flow, but with a new fusion added to it, which is like a new style of house. So I'm so blessed that all of these good artists are finally coming in my direction, because I've been producing for 8 years, and up to now I'm starting to find myself in music. I want people to dance to my music. I want DJs to rock to my music. So it's like that's the new Pistolero coming at you now. I'm gonna be the DJ / super producer, you know, get the party rocking, and I'll still get on the mic too. So, you know, I don't rhyme or nothing, but I rock crowds.
Yeah,
and when I get on the mic, you know, people like, they love it, you know, so.
Yeah, I've gone to a lot of your parties, you know that.
Oh yeah.
And you always take it back with the salsa, the freestyle. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's, you know, I gotta take it back to my peoples. You know, these days we're so saturated with all of this new hip hop, all of this dembow, all of this Dutch house.
Merengue
that,
urbano.
Yeah, this merengue mambo that's making so much noise. I love it, by the way. I love it. But yeah, I try to take always a moment and take people into their times in the clubs. And the reason why I do that is because you can never lose when you do that. I don't care what crowd you have.
Yeah.
You know, you have kids, which is the new generation right now. They know this music because of their parents. So when they hear it, they're like, oh my God, that's my song. But I'm looking at them like, you're like 19 years old. How is this your song? But yeah, you know, they do have parents. And, you know, I've been DJing for 20 years already. So it's already like 2 generations right now, you know. So I got to accept it, you know, and I go into clubs, and when I do that, they go absolutely insane. What else can I say?
You've been blessed.
Yes.
DJ Pistolero, baby, we live and direct right here with Teresa Vega, baby. That's what it is, baby. You know what it is. We tuned and locked in. RBI Radio. Loquera.net, baby. Pistolero, let's go.
Behind every successful man, there is a beautiful family. Here we have DJ Pistolero and his son Raiden, a future baseball player. His stepdaughters, Jessica Lynn and Samantha Rose. His grandson, Anthony, already practicing his DJing skills. And his beautiful, loyal wife, Patricia. May God bless you and the entire family. A few years ago, I met your wife in one of the Team Blues parties. How do you balance your family and your work?
Well, I
You're
must
always on the go.
say, you know, I have very, very great supportive wife. She supports me in everything I do. She partially manages me when I'm in situations that I can't handle. When I'm dealing with so much, she deals with the clients. She's so supportive. I love her so much. You know, I couldn't ask for a better wife, you know, to be so supportive.
She's very polite. She was a sweetheart.
She's very polite. She knows a lot about music. Oh my God, she knows so much about music. I mean, she knows a little bit more music than me.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a huge soul with music, and it's good to have her in my team, you know, because she's my team player. She's my team player. You know, I could go to the end of the world with her and put our relationship aside and say, yo, well, you know what? You're my homegirl right now, and we gotta walk along this path together. So, you know, let's walk back to back, and you got my eyes over there, and I got your front. So it's like, you know what? I couldn't ask for a better person than her to be in my life, you know, and having a supportive wife could really destroy good talent. If you have someone who's not supportive, you don't really make it too far in life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just a little quote, and I would like to tell everybody out there, to balance your family and to balance something you love to do, always remember that what you love to do is your passion. And always try to tell the person you love, you have a passion for this. And that always say, nothing could ever change. For as much love you can have for this person, nothing could ever change for the passion you have for what you do. You know what I'm saying? And those are very strong words. I'm basically trying to say, don't let no love in the world get in front of your dreams. If someone's gonna love you, they gotta love you for what you do, how you are, and etc., etc.
You DJ at the best clubs throughout New York City, Miami, and Puerto Rico. I remember back in the days, Club Bliss, Club Casino, Pearls. What was your most memorable moment throughout those days?
I must have to say DJing in Puerto Rico for Kanye West in 2003. That must have been my most memorable time in history. Seeing so many people and being put in a position where his DJ, something happened with his equipment or something like that, and I was there and I was available, and I went in and I took over the show with him. It was amazing. It's like an experience of a lifetime. So yeah, that must be my most biggest moment in history.
Did this lead you to any other projects?
Yeah, I actually did. I got a lot of gigs in Puerto Rico from that.
Okay.
I did the arena in Puerto Rico. I did shots. I did a lot of clubs in Puerto Rico, you know.
Didn't Ben Andino perform in Shots once?
Yeah, he performed in Shots, yes.
Yeah, I was there. That was Memorial Weekend.
Memorial Weekend.
2007.
That was my biggest debut in PR. I was the headline DJ. Of course, you had other DJs out there, but it was like my first time. All my people's being there with me,
I was there.
And actually seeing me DJ in the clubs, it was big for me. You know what I'm saying? That was big for me. And I really appreciate all the promoters showing me love and giving me that opportunity. You know.
That was around the time you were working with Team Deuce.
Yeah, I was working with Team Deuce. Big shouts to Team Money. That's my brother for life. I was working with GV. I was working with Hitless. I was working with Bello. I was working with Cello. I had so many promoters. Like, it was like they were all splitting me. They were like tug-of-warring with me. And yeah, but you know, they all like my music and they all have a history with me. All those guys that I just mentioned, they did party with me, and they were a lot of promoters back in those times when I was doing Vertigo and 20 West. You know, when I was on the come up, they were on the come up. So yeah, so basically talking about my most memorable moments. I got this book right here that contains all of my stuff that I've done in clubs. Not pretty much up to present, but as you can see, I ran out of room. But this is stuff that I've done with K7 back in the days at Club Vertigo. This is me and DJ Kid Capri. Yes, I DJ with the world famous.
Well, I'm proud to say that you are part of the Latino leadership in the community. Have you done any recent community work?
Yeah, actually, I am the official DJ for the NYPD. I do all NYPD events. I work for the 90th Precinct, 94th Precinct, 83rd Precinct, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm the one who does the police power parties, the street events, coordinator, for music for them, and I help them out with their parties, as far as getting venues, getting places. So yeah, I'm glad to be a part of that. I love to help. I'm always very helpful. I always like to help the community. And right now I'm trying to get in parks and recreation. I'm not getting paid for these events. It's just a promotional key.
Yeah.
And I would love to be a part of Parks and Recreation. That's my goal for 2012.
Okay, any other goals for 2012?
2012, I'm gonna really launch my radio show to like the 10th power. I have RBI Radio on Ustream. I'm also Mondays, I broadcast on loquera.net.
Yes.
I have a lot of views there. 15, 20,000 views a day. Those are like my goals. And I'm gonna produce so much this year. My album is gonna be something to be looking for.
You hear that? Well, when you go to a Pistolero party, do not expect to only hear hip hop, because he's gonna take you back to the 1980s, 90s, salsa hits, Latin house. He's gonna take you back. So enjoy.
Thank you.
Pistolero, you've been very successful, and I hope God continues to bless you.
Thank you.
And pa'lante for 2012. I'm Teresa Vega, and here you have DJ Pistolero.
Thank you. Big shouts to all my supporters and all my fans all across the world. I really want to take this time and let you guys all know that I appreciate everything you've done and all the support that you have showed me throughout the years. Like I say time and time again, I won't be nowhere without you. I do this for you. DJ Pistolero, I appreciate my supporters and my fans. I love you all.